Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Today I just wanted to do a quick video because it's Autism Awareness Month and I decided to make a page about awareness of autism. Now my daughter has just bought a Cricut and she gets free files for it each month, I think it is. So because it's Autism Awareness Month, she decided to print out and die cut some words about autism and some ribbons and jigsaw pieces, logos of autism awareness. So I thought, I should do something about them, especially because it is Autism Awareness Month. Now, with the page, the background has little jigsaw bits. What I did was used my jigsaw punch that I found at a second-hand shop in one of my hauls. And I punched some pieces out and then I used that as a stencil with some distress ink just to get the background like that, which was really cool. And then I used the bits I'd punched out, I coloured them in with some Sharpies. I also coloured in these words with Sharpies and a gel pen because I didn't have a yellow Sharpie, always the way. So yeah, I think it's turned out pretty good. It's nice and colourful. So now it has a personal meaning for me because about 5 years ago, I have my son's permission to talk about this. So about 5 years ago, he was diagnosed with autism after having a lot of difficulties at high school especially. And after he was diagnosed, I did a lot of research into it, of course, and read up about women with autism. And what I read just sounded like me, so I sought myself a diagnosis as well. So we both have autism, and it can be really, really difficult, and there is not enough awareness about it. There are so many people affected by it that wouldn't have been diagnosed, and if we could get more people help with that, it would make life a lot easier for them and their families. So yeah, so I made this page and I've written a couple of quotes that I really love on here as well that have helped me. The first one is, if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. In saying that not everyone's the same with autism, we're all very, very different. So, we all have different strengths and abilities just like anyone else. Because a lot of people will say, well, I know so-and-so and they have autism and they do this, so it should work for you too. And it's not the case. Everyone's just very different and needs different supports. So the second one is, the difference between high functioning and low functioning is that high functioning means your deficits are ignored and low functioning means your assets are ignored. And that is so true. If you've got high functioning autism, from my son's experiences, people think, it's high functioning, so you're good at everything and you don't have any deficits, or that it's not hard for you, or it's only mild, so therefore you don't have that bigger problems. And that is just such a misnomer, because it is very, very difficult for anyone with autism. And also for people with low functioning autism, everyone has strengths, like everyone does, with or without autism. And a lot of people with low functioning autism, sometimes they might be non-verbal, and people just assume that they don't have any strengths because they're not able to communicate effectively, or we haven't found a way to communicate with them appropriately, which is very sad. There'd be a lot of people out there that are treated poorly, or if it get frustrated and have meltdowns because they just can't communicate properly, and they don't know how, and that would be very, very difficult. So, and then the third one on the back of this tag that I've made is, autism acceptance is realising I am a normal version of me and not some broken version of normal. And the best thing for me was getting a diagnosis, because I had always wondered why I couldn't cope. It's hard to maintain relationships, employment, schooling's hard, and it's just very difficult, and it's very isolating. You do feel very alone. And you know, having a diagnosis has made me realise that, you know, this is who I am. I have autism, and I'm not ashamed of it. And, you know, even though at times it's difficult, this is who I am, and, you know, I hold on to it with both hands now and just go for it, because there is nothing to be ashamed of. It's a lifelong thing, you know, it can't be cured. So the way I see it is I might as well get used to it, and it's not all bad. So yeah, and I also made the pocket here out of just some blue cardstock and the tag as well. And then over here, it's a bridge that says understanding, which is so important for autism, obviously. And that came out of a card that I bought in one of my hauls the other day, as did these little cards that say understanding, compassion, patience, and humour. And I think those 4 things are extremely important when dealing with people with autism, especially humour for myself and my son. We've found that approaching difficult situations with humour has turned out to be the best tactic for us, because life is just too darn serious sometimes. So that's been really great, and I think, you know, the government needs to help out more, because to get diagnosis for autism is extremely expensive. Here in Australia, it's about $700 or $750 for a child, and $450 for an adult, which is extremely expensive for people who are doing it hard. And having that diagnosis is so important, because you can't get access to any services to help until you have that diagnosis. So definitely need more understanding. And thank you everyone for listening to me ramble, and I hope you like my page. And yeah, next time I will try not to talk so much and get back to doing more crafting. Have a great day everyone. See you later.